The 17th ranked Bears of Baylor square off with the 14th ranked Mustangs of SMU. The 80th all-time meeting between the two squads is dead even, with each side having a record of 36 wins and 7 ties apiece. A look at the Southwest Conference standings show these two teams near the bottom, tied for 7th with 1-2 conference records. Both teams desperately need a win today to stay in the hunt. First quarter action is where we start, as Neil Burcham of the Mustangs will keep it on the option on 3rd and goal, and he'll score a touchdown as we've seen all season long. This time from 4 yards out, and SMU takes a 7-0 lead on the read option attack of Neil Burcham and Traylon Sheed. Burcham kept it there and scores from 4 yards out. First down and 10 for Bryce Petty and the Bears. They look to throw. Petty throws it right, and it is intercepted by the Mustangs' Shaquille Randolph. The Mustangs have continued to play exceptional defense the past few games, have really turned their season around because of it, and Bryce Petty never should have thrown that pass, as you take a look at Randolph stepping in front of the ball and picking that one off. After an SMU 3-and-out, it's Petty on 2nd down and goal, running a little option himself. He'll score a touchdown from 3 yards out to tie the score up at 7 apiece. And while SMU has scored a lot of red zone touchdowns, Baylor can do the very same thing. And as a result of Bryce Petty's legs, this is a tie ball game. Take one more look at Bryce Petty stumbling and bumbling into the end zone. Bears are kicking off to the Mustangs. This is Derek Thompson on the return. He'll take it from 4 yards deep in his own end zone, up the left side, looking for a big play. He gets a block. He's got one man to beat, and he is gone after a diving tackler misses at the 30. Derek Thompson enters the NCAA record books with a 104-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, the longest in NCAA history, breaking Fred Davis's North Texas record set earlier this season. The Mustangs now lead it 14-7. After a Baylor 3-and-out, it's first down and goal for the Mustangs. Burcham, he'll hand it off to Traylon Sheed on a counter, and he'll score a touchdown from 6 yards out. SMU trying to pull away early as they have a 2-score lead here in the first quarter. But not for long, as on first down and 5, Petty sends a man in motion, and Petty hands it off to Shaq Linwood, who zooms ahead into the end zone for a touchdown from 5 yards out, cutting the deficit to 21-14 after the quick little touchdown burst. Shaq Linwood just zoomed ahead into the end zone from 5 yards out. This is a 21-14 game. The Mustangs look to answer on 2nd down and 10 as Burcham takes the snap. He's going to roll to the right, fires it deep down the field towards Darius Joseph, but it gets intercepted by the Bears' Xavier Howard. Burcham and Howard's second pick of the day apiece. But just like the past few weeks, Mustangs could work around that today. More on that later on. This pick, however, would lead to another Baylor drive. On first down and goal, it's Bryce Petty. Bryce Petty will hurry his troops back to the line. Look over to the sideline for the play. He will send a man in motion. Petty keeps it. It's another option. We've seen this before in the game. He pushes a man aside. He scores a touchdown from 6 yards out to tie the game up at 21 apiece. So after SMU had gone up by 2 scores and looked to have all the momentum, Baylor gets right back in it and scores to tie the game up at 21 apiece. First down and 10 on the Mustangs' next drive as Burcham will look to throw. He's going to fire over the middle. It's caught by Steven Nelson for a Mustangs touchdown. Burcham and Nelson connect again, the first time in a while, this time from 21 yards out, and SMU is back on top. As you take another look at the fine fling over the middle, and with a minute 27 before halftime, SMU back on top 28-21. Petty and the Bears look to answer before halftime as he'll throw, fire deep down the right side of the field, but that one is intercepted as A.G. Montez picks it out of the sky, and the Mustangs force another Bear turnover with a minute 7 to go before halftime. As Petty looked to get back in the game just before halftime, but instead he gets picked off. It would lead to the Mustangs adding on before halftime, as on 2nd and 1, Burcham will find Derek Thompson on the slant route for a touchdown, and SMU is back up 2 scores. The 9-yard strike is Burcham's second touchdown of the day, and Thompson's second after the kick return earlier in the first half. 3rd down and 1 for Baylor just before halftime on their next drive, as Petty will look to throw. Petty He's going to fire it deep down the left side of the field, and that one is intercepted by J.R. Richardson. SMU goes into halftime with a 2-score advantage after Petty's third pick of the first half, and the second half didn't get any much better for the Bears. After the first drive of the first half went for a touchdown for SMU, the Mustangs would have another chance in the first drive of the second half, as you take another look at J.R. Richardson trying to return the interception before halftime. Petty did not have a good first half, but Burcham and the Mustangs did. On 2nd and goal in the second half, it's Burcham keeping it on the speed option. He'll score a touchdown from a yard out, and Burcham has doubled the Bears' score. SMU now leads it 42-21 after a Baylor punt. And after the replay showing Burcham scoring, it's 1st and goal for SMU. Burcham will hand it off to Traylon Sheed, another counter, and he scores from a yard out. And it is getting ugly here in Dallas. SMU with their biggest lead of the day at 49-21 as Traylon Sheed scores from a yard out on the counter. Another Bears punt, and SMU keeps rolling on all cylinders. Burcham looks to throw again. He'll find Nelson again, and Steven Nelson is gone, folks. On his way to a school record touchdown, the most receiving yards in a game in SMU history. The touchdown grab from 48 yards out breaks his own record set earlier this year, and it puts the Mustangs up by 35 points. And Baylor desperately needs an answer on their next drive. As we near the fourth quarter, it's a 56-21 game. It's going to be Bryce Petty. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire it to the left side, but that one is intercepted again by J.R. Richardson. The 4th Petty pick of the day, the 4th in 2 games for J.R. Richardson, and SMU has another chance to score as we start the fourth quarter. 56-21 after the game was 35-21 at halftime. My goodness, what a third quarter for SMU. And as we start the fourth quarter, it's going to be a 3rd down and 10 for SMU. Burcham will roll to the right and look to throw. And Burcham, he'll look towards Derek Thompson, and they connect for a touchdown. The second time they've connected for 6, this time from 14 yards out. SMU has scored 42 unanswered points to go up 63-21. Ay. Burcham goes up over 400 yards passing with that connection. Baylor just wants to end this game and end the scoring. Petty will look to throw on 1st and goal, trying to get back on the board. He'll find John Bordano instead, though, the Mustangs middle linebacker, sealing the blowout win for the Mustangs. Petty's 5th pick of the day. But the Bears finally get a stop and get on the board again as Petty finds Gus Pinning on the final play from 21 yards out for his first and only passing touchdown of the day, and that would be the final, as the Mustangs destroyed the Bears 63-28. The SMU defense was a nightmare for Baylor all game long, but especially after the first quarter. With the win, SMU improves to 6-2 and 2-2 in conference play, while Baylor falls to 5-3, 1-3 in Southwest Conference games. Next up for the Mustangs is a road trip to number 20 Texas, who will improve to 7-2. Find out next week here on Be Wildcat 2.